next thing I do, especially if I'm cooking in public, and I'm serving people in public, is disinfect. And how do we disinfect? We disinfect by using hand sanitizer, because it has alcohol in there. And whatever I didn't wash off, I'm going to take off chemically by using hand sanitizer. So the same thing again. Between my fingers, then what am I not supposed to forget? Just talked about it. What is the thumb, back of my hands, and the tips of my fingers? Okay? What's the dirtiest place in an office? Not the bathroom, because there isn't a bathroom in the office. So, like here's our office. What is the dirtiest place?
The desk.
It's here in the room. I can see it too. Okay, did you point to it? Go ahead, point again, Miss Quigg. There it is. It is the telephone. Because nobody thinks about washing the telephone. So every now and then, you need to take the telephone off the hook and wipe it down with one of those antibacterial wipes just to get that off as well. The keypad as well as the handset. Okay, so now I've washed. Go ahead and sit it right here. I don't know where the other mats went to. Okay, take off your hands. There. Ow, that hurt. Okay, let's do this. Go ahead. You ready? And go. You don't want to burn the formica. Okay. Alright, so the thing you need to do is to ensure that everything is clean, everything here is clean, everything here is sanitized, and then the next thing you do is then you need to check, is your food done? And so that green sheet that you have in front of you is a sheet that shows the different temperatures that are recommended as minimums for food temperatures. Okay? And here's why. There is what we call a danger zone in food safety. And the danger zone is a temperature range between 40 degrees and 140 degrees. So we need to keep foods hotter than 140 or colder than 40 degrees. What's a good meat type dish that should be kept absolutely cold?
Chicken.
No. Chicken salad, maybe, yeah. What else? It's really popular right now. It's the nouveau thing. You know, the beautiful people, you know, Brad Pitt and the rest eat this all the time. It's usually rolled up.
Oriental.
And it has rice with it.
Sushi.
Maybe seaweed. Sushi. Yes, sushi. So you don't, there's some foods that you actually want to keep cold because cold food is also safe food too. Because what happens is, how hot is it in this room? About 70 degrees, right? And where is 70 degrees on this range? Somewhere in the middle, right? So when things become room temperature, we have a problem. And so you only have about 2 hours of open time that they talk about when you're eating something. So if you're at a meal at Grandma's, and Grandma sets out a turkey, in your mind, put the internal clock on the timer. And when everybody's done eating, and it's close to 2 hours, you're going to say, Grandma, we need to put either it back in the oven to heat up again, or we need to put it in the refrigerator and cool it off. Why is it? Because you want to push that meat in, you want to push it out of the danger zone. Okay? So there's a lot of things there. Are they all the same temperature? Look at that sheet. No, they're not. So like steak, for example, is a less of a temperature than, say, poultry. Why is that? Because steak is a solid meat. It's like cooking this plate. It's solid. So the only surfaces that you actually have to sterilize are the exterior surfaces. Okay? Can anybody guess, and this is a guess, what is the worst thing to cook in the meat product? The worst. And we love them. And there's certain restaurants that sell billions of them every day. Around the world.
In terms of food safety, it's the most dangerous.
You usually see them around the Golden Arches.
I was going to say burgers.
Yeah, hamburger. Hamburger is the worst because it's all ground up and it's been moved around and the air has been incorporated all over and through it. That's why it's really important to keep it really cold, and then if you're going to cook it, keep it really hot. And so if you go to a classy burger joint where they ask you, how would you like your burger cooked? The one word you do not want to say is rare. R. Never use the R word. Okay? Because if you look at your sheets, you know, hamburger and those types of meats need to be up in temperature in order to ensure that you're not going to get sick. How many of you have gotten sick to your stomach before? Really bad, bad, bad. Was it a great day? No. And so you want to make sure that you ensure that everything is cooked that you want to see there so that you don't involve yourself in a food illness. Okay, so how do we check the temperature of meat? We use a meat thermometer. But how do I know that my meat thermometer is correct? What we do is we go through a calibration technique. And it's very easy to do. You take a styrofoam cup, fill it full of ice and water. What does the water do? It does what? Yeah, the water in the cup. Any idea? It'll melt the ice. Yeah, that helps, but any other clues? What it does is it pushes the air out of the cup. And so the water temperature is all the same. And so we actually have on one of these thermometers a set point for what we call the freeze test. And so what you do is you put your thermometer in there, and it should read 32 degrees. Temperature of ice water, right? Now I could go the other way and do it with a boiling pot, and that would be 212. Okay, but this is a little bit safer, you would agree. And so, so that's what you do. You sit it in here and you hold it for a while, and it goes down to 32 degrees, and there it is. Okay, I'm going to pass this one around, these two around, and take a look real quickly at these thermometers. One of them actually has a little dimple on the stem, and when you're checking your meat, you need to make sure you push it all the way in to where that dimple is to get an accurate measurement. Okay? There's that one. There's this one. Take a look. You can see the differences between the two. How many of you have heard of calibrating a thermometer before that? There are lots of things we measure with that need calibration. The one thing that I would like for you to test at home is your bathroom scale. How many of you have a bathroom scale at home? I have one. It lies to me all the time. Okay? I have one. So how do we tell if the bathroom scale is right? Any clue? We put something that we know, just like this. We know what this temperature should be. So what can I use at home to check my bathroom scale? A weight of some sort, right? So I could use like an unopened bag of flour or sugar or something like that. That should be somewhere in the realm of 2 to 5 pounds, right? I sit it on my bathroom scale and I check, and it should read somewhere there. Now, if it's going to read a little bit lighter than it should, some of you might enjoy that, so you're going to just leave it that way. You know, I would adjust. Okay. So that's how we calibrate. We calibrate against something that we know, so that every time we measure, we know it's going to be the same each and every time.